10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Utkarsh Tandon, and I welcome you all to yet another interactive post-match analysis session. And today, it was the Royal Challenge of Bangalore for the Mumbai Indians, and not only they accepted the challenge, but also won it with aplomb, as Mumbai Indians defeated Royal Challengers Bangalore convincingly by 5 wickets. Karan Pollard was again leading the side in the absence of Rohit Sharma, and having won the toss, he elected to bowl first. And his this uh, decision wrong, and they yeah so and they were almost on the verge of proving his decision wrong, as they scored 54 for no loss in the power play, but in the middle overs came in Jasprit Bumrah and Rahul Chahar. Rahul Chahar first picked Josh Philippe, who was playing quite brilliantly, and then it was Jasprit Bumrah. As RCB lost their 4 wickets in the span of just 7 runs, that is from 15.1 to 17.2 overs. They were 131 for 2, and they were down at 138 for 6 after 17.2 overs. Devdutt Padikkal played a brilliant innings of 74 runs of 45 deliveries, and RCB ended at 164 for 6. After that, Mumbai also had a steady start once again by Quinton de Kock and Ishan Kishan, as they were 45 for 1 after the power play. But it was the Surya show for Mumbai Indians, as Surya Kumar Yadav was unbeaten at 79 of 43 deliveries, and Mumbai won the game convincingly in the 19.1 overs by 5 wickets. Now, for more of the analysis, I have our expert, Mr. Shirish Nadkarni, with us. I'll join him quickly. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hi. I have 3 major comments to make today. 3. Number 1 is that Mumbai Indians with 16 points is virtually in the playoffs. There is a mathematical possibility of 5 teams ending with 16 points. But even if they do, there is no team that can head off Mumbai on the run rate. The run rate that Mumbai has is just way above everybody else.
Positive 1.186.
Yes, exactly. So Mumbai can be said to have made the playoffs definitely. Now all that remains to be seen is whether they can come in the first or second position. And they've got 2 matches left, and they can. I feel they can be in the first 2. Okay, point number 2. Mohinder Amarnath had made a comment about the selectors a long time ago, and I feel like making that again today after seeing Surya Kumar Yadav bat. There is no way that you can keep this boy out from the plane to Australia. The way he batted today, he got his highest score in this IPL, and it was coincidentally the same score that he'd got on the same ground a few matches back, 79. And this time he did it off 43 balls, and they were all absolutely beautiful cricketing shots. There was no slogging, and he was completely calm. Right at the end, he patted himself on the chest and he told everybody, wait, don't worry. I've got it under control. I'm taking the team across the line. That's my second comment. And the third comment is Jasprit Bumrah getting his first wicket, Virat Kohli, and getting his 100th wicket, Virat Kohli. Today's 3 for 17 performance was just unbelievable. That's what got Mumbai. They managed to hold the Royal Challengers Bangalore down to 165 and got it with aplomb. So Jasprit Bumrah for me was joint man of the match. If you ask for man of the match, I would say between Surya Kumar Yadav and Jasprit Bumrah, it's difficult to make a decision. I would give both of them joint man of the match status.
So,
there you go.
as you mentioned, Bumrah's first wicket was Virat Kohli in swinging delivery, and today 100th wicket also was Virat Kohli, a bouncer. Evolution of Bumrah, we saw evolution of Bumrah, but as you rightly mentioned, Surya Kumar Yadav. See, despite being neglected once again by the national selectors, he didn't speak a word, but he let his willow do the talking.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
so what are your comments on this behavior? Because many a times we've seen in the past players retaliating through their mouth.
I think he's done a very sensible thing by keeping his mouth shut and letting his bat do the talking. Not only his bat did the talking, but his captain, Kieran Pollard, also did the talking. At the post-match presentation, he was unequivocal that Suryakumar Yadav should have been on the plane to Australia. I mean, it was like a slap in the face for the selectors. It was like egg thrown in the face for the selectors. So, yes, definitely. I think Suryakumar Yadav did a very sensible thing by letting his bat do the talking, and how he really was on song today.
Yeah, and again, see, again Rohit was not there. We'll talk about the match later, but a word on Pollard's captaincy. Although his winning streak uh, was broken with the loss in the previous game, but today again, the way he captained means he was spot on with his decisions.
He was very good. There's no doubt. He's got a natural ability to captain. Otherwise, you cannot get 15 wins in a row, which he had earlier, which was broken in the 16th game, but has come back in the 17th game. And he made the right changes. He had the fielders in the right spot. The way he got Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers, making Bumrah use the short ball against them. It wasn't the Yorker length ball that everybody is afraid of as far as Bumrah is concerned. He used the short ball which was rising up to the chest. So Virat tried to pull it on the leg side and hold out to Saurabh Tiwari, whereas AB de Villiers got caught near the boundary line. Was it by Pattinson, if I remember right?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoever took the catch. But
Substitute
it was a trap that they lured these people into. And I mean, batsmen of the caliber of Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers falling into traps like that. And it was because of their dismissals that your RCB, which was cruising at 131 for 2 wickets, lost 4 wickets quickly and went down to 138 for 6. And from there,
and just to float some stats, as you mentioned, in the last game also, RCB scored 44 runs in the last 4 overs, losing 4 wickets. In this game also, RCB scored just 35 in the death overs, that is 16-20, and lost 4 wickets.
Did you notice all the commentators mentioned that RCB's weakness is their inability to get going in the middle overs? Their middle over performance has been very poor. They're okay at the start, but their middle overs performance is very poor, and they can't step on the accelerator towards the end either. So that really cost them at least 15 to 20 runs, which could have put pressure on the Mumbai Indians batting. Could have. I'm not saying it would have, but it could have.
Could have. There was a slight possibility. So now I have Anurag with us. Hello, Anurag. A warm welcome. Go ahead with your comments.
Your mic is on.
Yeah, now he's okay.
Let's hear you.
Yes, first of all, Utkarsh, thank you so much to you and the team of Go Beyond Sports for sending me the goodie. Thank you so much for first of all for that.
Yeah, most welcome.
Really,
and just for the viewers watching it, that you also have a chance to win a goodie from Go Beyond Sports. Just drop your email ID and phone number, and regularly come on the live sessions. You'll also stand a chance to have a goodie from Go Beyond Sports, as Anurag did.
What exactly are the goodies, Utkarsh? Should I drop my email address in as well?
Definitely, sir, you can. Definitely a sipper, and that would help you when you'll go for your tournaments. That will help
Oh,
you.
oh, I see. Are you going to provide me with kit and a racket and a big kit bag?
That you already have. You are a veteran, sir.
I'm a veteran, but veterans don't have these things for life. If they break, then you have to replace them. So if you're going to give me a full set, a full kit for my badminton tournaments, then I will definitely put my email address in.
Definitely, you put. I'll have to ask the company for that.
Okay.
Go ahead, Anurag. Yeah.
Yes, so some good performances there. Uh, I think so. I think so. Now that the last phase of the IPL has started, I think so. It's going to be good for some players. Going to happen IPL, that is the Australian tour. So I feel that the
Yeah.
players have got both chances, doing well for their franchise and also getting the storm into the big match just after that.
There
Yeah.
is some problem with the
It's
connectivity,
it's good that
with Anurag's connectivity.
Yes.
we
But
will
I'm
get to
trying to
see
hear.
some more
Anurag,
good
you
knocks
can.
because the IPL cricket is happening first in Australia. Before it was like
Yeah. I think there is some serious issue. I
Some
think
technical issue, some
I'll,
technical
I'll,
problem
I'll,
with
I'll,
Anurag's
I'll
mic.
give you some time to just sort it out, and then I'll add you. I'll give you time to just connect once more. In the meantime, I have Aman. Hello, Aman. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, and really happy to see you, sir, again back in the show.
Yeah. Means he had some issues with his
Uh,
laptop, and
yeah.
And
today
I ho-
he got
and
his laptop back.
I
and
can
I
tell you
hope
Today
one
he's with
thing
us.
that I used my previous laptop for 4 years without any trouble, and I got this new laptop just before the lockdown started, and it's proved to be a disaster. It keeps rebooting all the time, and interrupting the flow of chat on shows like this. I got it fixed this morning, and so far so good. It seems to be working.
Yeah.
I
and
And
can
I hope
one
and
hopefully
comment was
join you more
from
often.
Yo Mahesh as well, former cricketer. That where is Shirish sir? When you were not
Oh,
there,
yeah.
he just commented, "Where is Shirish sir?" I said, just wait for a few more days. He'll be back.
and
I
He's
I
should be
facing
hope
more
some
from
regular.
technical
I should
issues.
be more. I should be more
and,
regular now. If the laptop works, then you can be assured that I will come. If the laptop
Yeah.
does not work, then this is very little I can
Then
do.
it's
Especially since my software guy is all the way into town and I live in the suburbs, so it's not easy to get hold of him and get him to fix it. He seems to have fixed it now, so let's hope for the best.
fingers
yeah.
crossed,
So
sir.
Aman, go ahead.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
And I would like to start with Suryakumar Yadav's inning. He scored 79 and brilliant 79. And I would like to add words of Dilip Vinsakar, sir, what he said about the rejection of Suryakumar Yadav in Australia talk. He said, "I'm astonished and omission of Surya, who is currently one of the most talented batsmen in the country, for the team selected for the Australian tour. BCCI President Saurav Ganguly should question the motivate behind dropping Surya.
Hmm.
Seriously, sir, your take."
Yeah, he said exactly what I've been thinking. In fact, you were not on the program earlier when I mentioned that Mohinder Amarnath had made a comment several years earlier about the selectors being you know what. a bunch of
I'll not use the word.
yeah, but by this kind of a result in their selection policies throws them open to this kind of ridicule. Okay, what the heck were you doing? Have you not been watching this boy playing? Last 3 seasons, he's been knocking. Every time you say, yeah, he's knocking on the doors of
Knocking, yes.
international cricket. What is the meaning of knocking on the doors of international cricket? What more does he have to do? I mean, he comes in at number 3 for Mumbai Indians. He takes the team across the line with a very cultured knock, outstandingly cultured knock.
Flamboyant.
Yeah. No, it was cultured. Flamboyant, yes. Okay, he got 79 in 43 balls. That is flamboyance. But it was cultured. There was no wild slogging. And he was playing a 360-degree innings, similar to
elegance and stroke play.
Similar to what AB de Villiers does. Strokes all around the wicket. One over the wicketkeeper's head, sweeps, straight drives, a cover-driven six. A cover-driven six of Chahal.
Against Yuzi Chahal. A bowler like Yuzi Chahal.
Yeah, because
just to add on and ask your opinion, we've seen many young birds coming. See, for the last time we saw Vijay Shankar going to the World Cup, heading to the World Cup. Then Shivam Dube again came in premature. Now we saw Varun Chakravarti in the team on the basis of this year's IPL. And Surya Kumar Yadav is a major missing in the team.
It's not just Varun Chakravarti. What about Navdeep Saini? He's in all 3 formats. He's on all 3 formats. Prithvi Shaw has been brought back to the test format only. But all these players are going to Australia. Whereas Surya Kumar Yadav has not even been given the chance of being on any one of the 3 teams. He could have been in the T20 team. He could have been in the ODI team. Okay, not maybe in the test team because you've got a lot of stalwarts there already, ensconced, 15, 16 players. But certainly in the T20 and ODI teams, he should have been there.
Yes. And not if you also take ODIs out of context, then at least in the T20 where you need the firepower. Because if you play, a very serious point, because if you play Hardik Pandya, he doesn't bowl. So Hardik Pandya, a batsman, Surya Kumar Yadav, a batsman, who will you pick as a frontline batsman?
I would pick Surya Kumar Yadav any day. On current form,
that is the point.
As batsman, definitely.
That is the point. As a frontline batsman,
the selectors are probably counting on Hardik Pandya being fit enough to bowl in Australia. But that sometime in the future, he's been having a serious back problem for quite some time. And he's worked on it in the National Institute. But he's not yet given any assurance.
A young guy, 4 years into his career, has had 2 back surgeries. How will he bowl? 2 back surgeries in 4 years. It's a serious concern, sir.
See, a lot of this is mind over matter. Even if you have back surgery, you can come back. You can come back and you can bowl at the very top. I mean, I don't like giving my own example, but if you want to know, at the age of 35, I had 2 slip discs in my lower back. And the orthopedic surgeon told me, forget about badminton, you'll be lucky to walk without a limp. And that was in 1985. So 35 years down the line, I'm still playing badminton. I'm still playing international competitive badminton. And the poor doctor died 17 years ago. So, a doctor is not God. And if you have it there in your mind that you can get all right, you can tell your mind, it's very often mind over matter. If you have a very strong mind, and I think Hardik Pandya does have a strong mind, I think he's just taking precautions that he should not bowl right now. I think in Australia,
that is what I was excited to look on in this season, that whether he's clicking 140 constantly or not, or has he dropped his pace? Has he dropped his pace to 130, 132? Or is he clicking that 140 plus? Because we saw Mustafizur Rahman, Bangladeshi bowler. before the injury, he was clicking 140, 142, and then bowling the slower balls, which was very effective. But post the surgery, his pace dropped to 128, 130, 135, 135 maximum. So that was the difference.
His effectiveness was reduced. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. So Hardik, for Hardik, the challenge will be to bowl at the pace that he was bowling at before his injury occurred. So more than 140. And we get to know whether he does that or not. If he doesn't, and if he just touches 130, then the effectiveness of the slower ball is gone. You made that point very correctly, that the slower ball is only effective if your normal delivery is that much faster. 12 to 15 kmph faster than your slower ball. It is very useful there. I mean, you see this bowler called Nokia. Nokia. He bowls consistently at 145 plus. And then he bowls the occasional slower ball and he gets the batsman into a tizzy. So the slower ball is only effective if your normal delivery is really quick. That is why Dwayne Bravo this time has not been able to be as effective as he was in earlier years, when he used to use his slower balls very well, but by bowling his regular balls at 135 to 140. This year, I think
one question for you.
Yeah.
One question for you in the comments. Shirish sir, if selectors had to pick a player by performance of last 3 games, for example Varun, then what's wrong with Vijay Shankar? What's wrong with Vijay Shankar?
See, the picking of Chakravarti itself was a surprise. So I think if you had given, I don't know what is whether it disturbs the balance of the team by picking a batsman like Surya Kumar Yadav over a bowler like Varun Chakravarti. If it doesn't, then Surya Kumar Yadav deserved to go ahead of Varun Chakravarti for sure. For sure.
See, we'll see that, because if Varun Chakravarti doesn't play in Australia, then what's the point of imbalance? If Varun Chakravarti doesn't play in Australia, then why not Surya Kumar Yadav? Who will be helpful?
There is no answer to what the selectors have done. I mean, I think they've really messed up by not having Surya Kumar Yadav in the side. There's no two ways about it. And I wonder, Utkarsh, I wonder whether they will be willing to swallow a little bit of pride and announce even belatedly that yes, it is worth taking Surya Kumar Yadav to Australia. If they announce that over the next couple of days, they would save face. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that, galti kiya hai, we are admitting the galti, and Surya Kumar Yadav should go to Australia. I feel that would be the best thing for them to do.
Yeah, rectifying your error.
Yeah,
as you mentioned.
Sure. There's no smallness in saying you're sorry and that you made a mistake and correcting that mistake.
Yeah. Now I have Wes joining us. So a warm welcome, Wes. You've joined us for the first time. You're live in the show. Go ahead if you have any comments or questions.
You should tell him to. There, the mic is off. Come on.
Yeah. Now it's perfect.
Thank you so much, Utkarsh, for letting me join the session. Actually, I got the notification several times to join, but unfortunately, due to some issues, I was not able to join this session. But today I got the opportunity, and it's really nice to have you all. So I just want to discuss about today's match. Don't you think that there were certain mistakes done by Royal Challengers Bangalore when they batted? Especially when Virat Kohli came to bat, he mistimed the shot. I think that was not a situation where he should go for a shot, and a partnership was needed at that time.
My answer to this is that Virat is, these days, I've been noticing, taking a few balls to get going. So if you notice, his final innings was 12 from 15 balls. Yeah, something like that.
14 balls, 6 runs, I think, if I'm not wrong.
No. It was more than that. Anyway, but the number of balls used up by him was
9 of 14.
Yeah, was more. Yeah, 9 of 14 balls. So he takes time to get going. This is his major problem these days. So if after he has got himself set, he goes on, then he can get Royal Challengers Bangalore to a very good score. But if he happens to get out after he has taken those initial number of balls to get set, then he does the team a very big disservice. If you noticed, during the time that Virat was at the crease, Royal Challengers Bangalore's rate of scoring had dropped substantially, and they could not pick it up because they lost too many wickets. From 131 for 2, they went to 138 for 6. So I think Virat needs to perhaps go back to the kind of player he was, where he could, within the first 3 or 4 balls, gauge the quality of the pitch and start his stroke play straight away. So he's doing the Royal Challengers Bangalore a disservice by starting very slowly. And if he doesn't get out, then it is fine. But if he gets out, then it's a major problem for them.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Uwais?
Yes, I definitely got my answer. Thank you so much for that. And one more thing, don't you think that...
I have Paji. I'm sorry, Uwais. I'm sorry. I'll take your questions.
Nice
I have Paji. Sat Sri Akal, Paji. How are you?
Yeah, Sat Sri Akal. Very well, thank you.
Sat Sri Akal, sir. Sat Sri Akal.
Paji, a royal challenge against for the Mumbai Indians, who not only accepted it but won this challenge. And what will you say for Surya Kumar? Starting directly with Surya Kumar Yadav.
Look, he played a brilliant innings today, and he was a young cricketer. And what surprised me is how he took on the fast bowlers of Steyn and Morris. Yes. Gosh, he took them downtown, and I think, I think it kind of like it just shows when Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers don't score any runs. They rely heavily on one of them to score, and if they both fail, actually RCB isn't the same team as they are, And I think one thing we are questioning in England is, how are these youngsters so fearless against Steyn and Morris? Who teaches them to be fearless like this? It's not like, you look at the opposite end, there's the other guy, young left-hander, who I think is going to play for India for years to come. You've guys got a ready left-hander, opening batsman, T20, Test cricket. Where is this fearless attitude coming from, these youngsters?
Probably they watch their peers, their seniors playing like this, and they aspire to play like them. Playing aside, you play next to Mr. 360, AB de Villiers, or you play next to Virat Kohli. You observe him batting from the opposite end. Certainly, it's going to have an effect on your game, isn't it? If these guys can treat Dale Steyn fearlessly, then why can't I? I think they feed off the seniors. That's what seems to be happening with Indian cricket. And this opportunity that the IPL gives them of playing alongside the best in the world, the best batsmen in the world. You can see people who treat Andre Russell with contempt, or you treat Dale Steyn, who's been a legend, with contempt. You turn around and say, hey, if they can do it, why can't I? Let me try as well.
Yeah.
So you have guys like Devdutt Padikkal who bat fearlessly, even against Bumrah. It's not easy to bat against Bumrah because he's so awkward. But they've managed to get their technique in order because of that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think I agree with you, and I think this is like the Virat Kohli era, really. Where fitness, high demands, intensity, fearless cricket. They keep. I've never seen an IPL where every team's got a youngster that has just lit up the tournament. It's incredible what Virat Kohli is doing for the next generation. His attitude and the fitness and everything it's a ready-made team. As he's gonna slowly retire at some point, there'll be a ready-made 11 of youngsters coming through.
I think as far as Virat is concerned, the word fitness is a given. You cannot get onto the field with him unless you're fit. Finished. That is the attitude. You're even slightly less than fit, you're out of it. I mean, if you ask me, I was shocked to see Rohit Sharma at the start of the IPL, posting a baby bump, and it did play on his results. He didn't fare anywhere near as well as he had fared earlier, and then he ruined his hamstring, and this hamstring is a recurring problem. It happened to him on an earlier tour where he had to return early, if you remember.
Yeah, but then you look at his look how he is. He's scoring the runs, but his fitness, he looks like he's put on a bit of weight. And you get injuries. Science says if you don't do the recovery sessions, if you're not fit, when you do the intensity after a few games, your body gets tired and something's going to snap.
Yes, exactly so. Exactly so. And that's what's happening to Rohit Sharma. So that's
and Paji, I think
3 games on the trot.
Someone actually is listening to us. Means KKR, we talked about Lockie Ferguson, he was in, Kuldeep was in. Yesterday, I clearly remember that you told that Moeen Ali may go out and Dale Steyn should come in. And today the same thing happened, but the result didn't go in the favor of RCB. So my point is that RCB in the previous game also were 44 for 4 in the last 5. This game also 35 for 4 in the last 5. So that finishing touch, they lack that final flourish.
Yeah, look, they did. But every game you look at, there's Virat Kohli or someone else, they're batting, one or the other are batting till the end. Now, I haven't seen a game where both of them have gone out cheaply. And actually, when they did lose at the start of the IPL. So even now, I would say that RCB would lose if Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers don't score a run. So this is my whole point, that they rely heavily on them two. But why can't they win when Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers don't score any runs? Why is that the case? Why is so reliant on them to winning the game for RCB?
Yes. Today also Devdutt Padikkal started for them. Josh Philippe, they were 54 for 0 in the first 6, then 75 for 2. Means RCB had 2 halves in their first innings. 88 for 10, 88 for 1 in first 10 overs, and then 76 for 5 in the next 10. So that was I think fall for RCB in the last 10 overs of their innings.
I think you remember what Pollard said in the post-match presentation. He says, we pulled it back after Virat Kohli lost his wicket. When Bumrah induced him to play at that short delivery. And from 131 for 2 wickets, they went down to 138 for 6. So losing those 4 wickets in the space of 7 runs was a killer blow. After that, they just could not regain their momentum.
Yeah, and this is exactly that happened in the last game.
Yes, exactly. It was a
similar position. Yeah, Virat Kohli gets out, AB de Villiers gets out, and then obviously Moeen Ali was playing. He's not really scoring runs. It's like you would probably want to play Moeen Ali, but you're like, he's not scoring runs or not bowling well. So you're like, well, we've got to now play Dale Steyn. But then, I guess the real issue is not the bowling. The real issue is when Virat or AB de Villiers get out, that middle order, that's the issue in this team. So I wouldn't blame the bowlers here. That's, you're allowed to have a one-off game or, consistently, if you see Dale Steyn going for 40 runs or Chris Morris, I wouldn't see that happening. But we're seeing consistently middle order collapses. And why is that happening? What should they do? Should they split up AB and Virat? You know, are they too close together because it's too much of a risk? If both get out, then we're in trouble. But if they both score, yeah, we'll get to 200. But that's something that the management needs to decide.
Yes, as you mentioned, ABD and Virat getting out in quick succession is a problem. Yes, Sir, I think you want to make
one
some
question
point.
I wanted to ask you, Monty Paji, is what do you think of Dale Steyn's bowling in this IPL?
Look, he's not the same as before, right? And he hasn't been bowling that quick. He hasn't got that zip back like he used to. But fast bowling, he's very much a rhythm bowler. He needs to play maybe another game and game after that. But we know the IPL is not about that. IPL is, you may only have that one game. You may only have 4 overs to prove yourself to play the next game. And he has to deal with that pressure. You can't say, well, you know, I need to be more over. So that's another question they've got to sort of, you know, work out. Has he lost his zip? Has he lost his venom? Is he still the same bowler like he used to be? He needs to quickly find a way of being effective on these wickets, because with his age and his pace, if he can't show that he's actually can produce a good performance, they may just think, you know what, we might as well just bring another overseas. This guy's not worth investing because he's just too old and he's lost it. So he needs to quickly find answers like these youngsters are. Fearless cricketers. Dale Steyn needs to be that young 18-year-old and think, right, it was my first IPL, 4 overs for 40-odd runs. Next one I play, I've got to learn quickly. I need to watch the other youngsters. I may have to watch the likes of Jasprit Bumrah, the likes of others. What are they doing? And sometimes when you get to that age, you have to have a teenager mindset. You got to have that same excitement. Clear away the experience. It was my first IPL game. If I play the next one, I've got to do this. I've got to do that. It's got to have that kind of mindset.
You know, if you notice, Chris Morris looked so much more menacing than Dale Steyn.
Yeah, look, we obviously know he does because he's younger. His action is more snappier. You can see he's got that snap in the crease. It's the snap. He's losing his snap, and then maybe that's with his body. The fast twitch fibers are not as as they used to be. So you can clearly see the difference between the age. So the thing is, if he wants to play in this IPL, he's got to quickly find answers, because this could be his last one if he doesn't quickly find them answers. And it's a harsh game, 2020. But this is the best league in the world. And as players, you have to find answers quickly.
True.
So now I'll move to the viewers. Aman, do you have any questions to ask?
Yes, I have a question there. Sir, in last 3-4 games, especially fast bowler, doing good with variations. If they are changing in pace, they are doing good. But one more time, James Pattinson today. However, he did some variations, but he was again above 40, and Jason also, along with him, Trent Bolt also over 40.
Yeah, well, the thing is, look, Aman, they can afford to go that, right? They can afford to do that because they've got Jasprit Bumrah, who bowls so well at the moment in great form. Like you got to combine 3 of them together, right? 2 40s plus a 10. It's like a dartboard, double 20, right? We've got 80. And then add that. So 12 overs that go for, let's say, 100 runs, and you get 2 wickets, 3 wickets, 100 for 3 of 12 overs. I think I'll be very happy with that.
Yeah.
That's how you've
Actually,
got to see it.
Normally, Monty Paji, it's even better than that, because, as you said, Jasprit Bumrah concedes maybe 12, 13, 15 runs. And between the 2 of them, Pattinson and, today Bolt and Pattinson conceded 80 between them. But generally,
let me put my phone on charge. One sec. I'm still online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'll come
They Pattinson and Bolt today went for 80. I agree, but generally they go for under 70. So 70 plus 15 of Bumrah, that means 85, and you get 3 to 4 wickets between them. In fact, most of the time, Bumrah has been taking 3 wickets himself. and Bolt contributes with 1 or 2, Pattinson contributes with 1 or 2. You get 5 for 85. And that is a phenomenal
And
return.
that is 7. Economy is 7. Means in 12 overs, 85 runs, economy is just 7. Or just,
and you're getting results. You're getting 5 wickets. So wouldn't you take that? 85 for 5, you would take it at any time, isn't it?
Well, this is it. So, like, as fans, you got to look at the overs, put them all together, and you look at the other side, you know, where Mohammad Suraj isn't quite just beat Bumrah. So, what it is, right, is that's why Mumbai Indians are so effective at the moment. Their 3 seam departments collectively as a group, 100 for 5, 100 for 4 after 12 overs. I think you're going to be very much in the game of bowling a side out at 160, which obviously they did today very, very comfortably. And that's how you see as a combination. If we kind of like, out of the 3, you're going to say, yeah, 2 of them are going to have a bad day. If we've had a great game, then basically, you know, what is it? 3 of us, you know, 3. You can't afford to have the 3 seamers to have a bad day, right? Yeah. And that's what it is. The thing is, if 3 of them have a bad day, then Mumbai Indians will lose. Simple as that. And you only need one person to do well. Jasprit Bumrah has good 4 overs, takes 2 for 20, right? Mumbai Indians win the game every time.
And Jasprit Bumrah, to remind you,
also have the pie chucking of Kieron Pollard. Notice he comes in for 1 over or 2 overs and invariably gets 1 wicket. It's like
I want to make a point in this that because I want to make this point because maybe it will fly under the radar that AB de Villiers was quite against Rahul Chahar, and probably in the successive over, Pollard came in and took that wicket of low full toss. So that pressure was actually built by Rahul Chahar to AB de Villiers.
Yeah, look, this is what we're saying, you know. Kieron Pollard showing smart captaincy. They're like, okay, you didn't have a good game last time, but are you learning quickly? He is. Yes. You know, if Rohit Sharma doesn't play for the rest of the season, which I'm most likely not to do, actually, I think would be a good option to actually replace him as captain. You know why? He'll give a kick on his backside. Get fit. Don't rely on your captaincy and on your finesse.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
And I think that'll be a great message by Mumbai Indians to say, you know what? We don't want you as captain. We want you to be fitter and be available for the whole season.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It could be the difference between them winning and losing the IPL this year now. Because he couldn't be asked to do extra gym sessions and control on his diet.
Yeah. He should get rid of that baby bump.
Yeah, but then this is
one question is... Yes, Paji, continue.
No, but this is why people say, oh yeah, Virat Kohli, what makes him great? What makes him great is he's an inspiration to himself and to the youngsters coming through this Indian team. The demand on fitness, the discipline he takes. You know, there's a time when you're feeling hungry, you're like, oh, go on then, I'll have another naan bread. But he doesn't make that decision. No, I'm going to stay fit, because if I stay fit...
True ambassador to the game. But
Rohit Sharma, I want 2 naan breads, not 1.
Actually, we've been reading in the media quite a bit about friction between Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, and I think it would be mainly on the fitness point. I would think.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And Sanjay Madrekar saying, why is KL Rahul in the occlusion of the team? Well, he is fit. He's working out as a keeper.
Yes.
And I agree with Kishirigam that sometimes that statementship of Mumbai batsmen, I'm sorry, that myth has changed. And it changed when Virender Sehwag was discovered like the new Tendulkar. And then after that, we had Virat Kohli. And now suddenly, the Mumbai batsmen aren't as good. And because it's Rohit Sharma's fault. He's not, if he's fit, firing, then people will take him seriously. But they're like, no, we want fit cricketers now. The dynamics have changed. cricket does not exist in Mumbai anymore. It will be for the passion for the game and for the love of the game.
Yeah.
But the dynamics are changing in Indian cricket now.
I agree. Even though I'm a die-hard Mumbai supporter, you've talked absolute 100% sense.
And now I have a question for you. Someone, Mumbai Indians, has asked that, sir, are you seeing Shubman Gill getting a game? And if yes, then at which position he will bat?
I want to see him open the batting in T20 cricket to the tour of Australia and not feel the pressure or the onus on, I need to do something different. Just think of it as an IPL game and play like that.
So, Paji, will you not go with the combination of KL and Mayank, who have been very much successful?
No, I will have Mike Agarwal at 3, and then I will have
Kohli at 4.
Kohli at 4, and then KL and Shubman Gill.
Okay. Sir, Siri sir? Is he? I think he's frozen now. So, Paji, now to about we are at the verge of ending the session. Talk about a quick word on Devdutt Padikkal's innings for RCB. 74 run off just 45 balls. So that young lad, it's now 4th 50 in his debut season. So a quick word on that young lad's innings.
Well, this is, what can I say? It's like he's got everything to be a test cricketer, one day a T20. You look at India are desperate for a left-hand opener. They're absolutely desperate for that. And I think they found one. This guy has got everything, right, to succeed. And he's got the mentor of Virat Kohli underneath him. He is the ideal opener India are dying for. That they need someone like an overseas. I can see him be a great overseas opening batsman. Good technique, tall batsman.
You are foreseeing him as one of the openers for Team India in the future.
Absolutely, he looks the part. He's got everything that you need, and it's very exciting times. I can see him. I don't see him playing T20. I can see him opening the batting, Test cricket.
So, so now Mumbai has almost gotten to the playoffs. Now for the next 3 teams, DC has lost the track, but DC and RCB are just a game away. So DC and RCB for you, as you mentioned yesterday, also for you, probably they'll make the playoffs. 4th team again. See, tomorrow is the match of KKR. So KKR versus CSK. CSK are out, and they'll try to bring some hamper KKR from going. So 4th team for you.
I think everyone wants to see Chris Gayle, don't they?
Universal boss,
Universal boss, man. Everyone wants to see Universal boss. So and Anil Kumble as well. I think he's a hard admired cricketer. Everyone loves him. If you look at the role models of Indian cricket, I think everyone's desperate just to see Anil Kumble succeed as a coach, especially the hard time he had with the BCCI. Well, in fact, the time he had with, just the departure between Virat and Anil, he's probably got a point to prove that I'm a really good coach. I really hope that Punjab Kings make the final spot.
Yeah. So, Aman, any question? Do you have any questions? Otherwise, we'll wrap up the show as we are running out of time now.
Yeah, I'll go with Monty for tomorrow's game, Kings in Punjab, and I'm seeing another big knock from the Universe boss.
Any questions, or is the closing remark?
Yes, I have a question. Yes, I have a question actually. Do you see, sir, RCB will qualify from here because they have upcoming game against CSK and Delhi Capitals, and Delhi Capitals they are desperate for a win. And CSK also
Delhi Capitals, they're big games, and Delhi Capital should go through. RCB, yeah, you never know with them. If De Villiers don't perform, you could see him knock out. So you don't know about that. But if one of them score runs, I expect them to go through. But this IPL has been probably one of the best we've seen. So let's not take anything for granted.
Yeah, let's not exclude any team from the race, because still there are 7 teams who are just fighting each other for the playoffs. Paji, a quick word on tomorrow's game between CSK and KKR. Who do you think will actually have the last laugh, CSK or KKR? Because CSK will be much more relaxed.
Yeah, they'll be relaxed, and I think Dhoni captains the team much better when he creates an atmosphere and he takes the importance out of the game. Like you kind of feel like, is this really an IPL game going on? You know, it's just 11 blokes enjoying a game of cricket. But for me, KKR, they're so unpredictable with what they're going to do tomorrow. I don't know. You know,
they are so unpredictable that
they're going to have a game plan. They're going to have a theory, and they're going to say, this is what we did. And it's going to be Brendan McCullum's fault again, and you'll get the combination wrong. And I don't know. So I'm going to go with
most
CSK.
Of all, what will be the batting order? Most of all, what will be the batting order?
They may even have DK opening the batting with Sunil Narayan.
So it is KKR. They can do anything.
Yeah, if they'll have a theory, and they'll say, this is what we need to do with this theory. And if it comes off, then Brendan McCullum will say, I told you so. High risk theory, high risk strategy. And if it doesn't come off, then I think we've got major problems with KKR. You know, we're like, guys, what are you guys really doing? Firstly, you changed the captaincy halfway through the season. Secondly, you found a combination of winning. Thirdly, you changed that combination. Tomorrow, I don't know what they're going to do. So we'll just have to wait and see what the combination is. But if they keep going as they are with just changing combinations, batting order changes, they may drop Lockie Ferguson, for example, because they think, oh, he needs a rest. You know, whatever theory they have. If they keep doing these unpredictable changes, right, which we never thought of, then I'm afraid CSK will win. And then I think there'll be huge concerns on KKR.
Yeah. And if Lockie plays, will he bowl in the power play finally, or he'll bowl after the first half of the innings?
Well, if logic serves me right, Ferguson should bowl in the power play. In fact, 3 overs or 2 overs. Right? Owen Morgan should be at 4-5. DK should be at 6. And maybe Sunil Narayan maybe at 5, you know, something like that. But
So Shubman Gill and that Rahul Tripathi to open the innings, or Shubman Gill and Tom Banton?
Well, they could maybe do that, yeah. Tom Banton, and they drop Sunil Narayan. Oh.
Yeah.
And
Paji was making his last word.
It is the most wanted question of this tournament. Will Lockie Ferguson bowl in power plays? This is, I mean,
yeah, that's what Paji was making, but I think there is some technical issues. No worries. Viewers will join in tomorrow again at 11:45. So tune in tomorrow for tomorrow's post-match analysis. I have Anurag with us. I'll take him for a few minutes. Anurag back again. Hello, Anurag. You're back again.
Yes, I am. I hope. Yeah. I hope this time the connectivity is okay.
Yes, it's perfect. You were making your point last time.
Yes, I was making my point. The point was simple that I think now that the phase is ending of IPL and some teams will have to move out from this, and then the playoffs will start. So now the players have got enough chances. Those players who will be part of that team which goes to Australia, do some good practice here, and then they can move on to playing for India in Australia. And I feel looking looking the way forward with the way we are doing in limited overs cricket. Indian team is doing limited over cricket. It's good that for them to get their confidence up, the T20 and the ODI is happening first. So it's good that it, they will get some good amount of time before they move on to Test cricket. So that's the good part. And players, I hope, likewise, you can see uh, like Shubman Gill, Varun Chakravarti, and Deepak Char all. And especially, I'm happy to see a mix of some those who were part of Test team also being a part of one day and T20 like Mayank Agarwal, and someone like Shubman Gill, who we can say is part of much part of the limited overs cricket, is also part of the Test squad. So it's a nice mix up. The team is good for the Australian tour.
Yes, definitely. As you mentioned, that playing limited overs series before the Test series will help them adapt to the conditions and be used to the not only the conditions, the atmosphere, the ground dimensions are also a bit bigger in Australia. They'll adapt to the pitch, the bouncy tracks in Australia, so it will definitely be of a great help. So now I'm taking your leave, viewers. It's goodbye and good night from my side. Do tune in tomorrow at 11:45 p.m. for the post-match analysis of KKR and CSK game. So good night from my side. Thanks a lot, Aman, Anurag, Paji, Shirisa, and all the viewers who've joined.